by Department of Human Rights School for Legal Studies, Babasaheb Bhimrao Ambedkar University, Lucknow. It gives me an immense pleasure to introduce and welcome our today's guest resource person, Dr. Nidhi Saxena. Dr. Nidhi Saxena is working as Senior Assistant Professor in the Department of Law in Sikkim University, Gangtok. She is Program Coordinator NSS at Sikkim University and take care of various activities in online and offline mode. After joining Sikkim Universities, she has served various other institutions. Besides teaching, she devotes her time in guiding research leading to doctoral and master degrees. She has successfully supervised 3 PhD and 4 MPhil. Dr. Nidhi Saxena has earned her doctoral degree on the topic Cybercrime, Misuse of Electronic Technology, a Legal Study in the Light of Human Rights from Babasaheb Bhimrao Ambedkar University, Lucknow in the year 2009. She has edited 2 books named Cybercrime in the 21st Century and New Dimensions of Intellectual Property Right, and authored 1 book titled as Information Technology Law and Practice. The book is presently in press. She has published a number of papers in international as well as national journals, mostly dealing with the issues of cybercrime, cyber law, and intellectual property right. She has rich experience of participating in conferences, national and international symposium, workshop, talks, webinars, and online training programs. She has delivered a number of talks on cyber law, cybercrime, and human rights, intellectual property laws in various institutions and universities. She has been honored by being invited to deliver lecture on cyber law, cybercrime, human rights, and women-related issues and laws under the auspices of Sikkim Human Rights Commission, Nehru Yuva Kendra, Police Training Center, V.V. Giri National Labour Institute, New Delhi Internal Complaint Committee, Women's Cell, etc., and has privilege to be associated with the Indian Society of International Law and other educational bodies as member. She has worked in 2 projects entitled Role of Information and Communication Technologies in Human Trafficking for Northeast India into Myanmar for Commercial Sexual Exploitation, Review of Jurisdictional Boundaries in Law Enforcement, which is sponsored by Asian Studies Center, Ceylon, and the Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India, and project title Implementation of People-Centric Services through E-Governance, Policy and Problem, a study with special reference to Sikkim in the light of Digital India Plan, which is sponsored by ICSSR, New Delhi. Dr. Saxena visited at Seoul, South Korea on call by Asian Society of International Law in its 6th Biennial Conference 2017 on Asia and International Law in Times of Uncertainty, and presented a paper titled A Scourge of the Cybersecurity and Jurisdictional Fragmentation, Quest for Treaty-Based Jurisdictional Integration. She also holds membership of various international and national bodies. She is also a reviewer in various journals, member of All India Law Teachers Congress, New Delhi, and many other various reputed law societies in India. In Sikkim, Sikkim University, she worked as a member of Disciplinary Committee of Sikkim University, member of School Board of Social Sciences, member of Internal Complaint Committee, etc. In Sikkim University, she is also a member of Board of Studies and various other committees. Today, she will be speaking on the topic Regulatory Challenges at the Interface of Information Technology and Trafficking for Sex, an overview. We welcome you all, ma'am. Over to you.
Thanks for this wonderful introduction. Thank you, Shivpriya, for the nice introduction of our resource person, Dr. Nidhi Saxena. And before she begins her lecture, I would also like to welcome from the mass communication, Nivedita, for covering this lecture series. And so I welcome you, Nivedita.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for joining and being all the time with us and giving a wide publicity to our program. Thank you so much for joining. Now, not standing between the speaker and the audience, now I straight away invite Dr. Nidhi Saxena to talk about the topic that she has chosen for the day. Over to Dr. Nidhi.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I'm just taking a help for this sharing. Is it visible to everyone? Just can we confirm if it is?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Okay. Right. Error. Right. Me. Is it now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So thanks for this wonderful introduction, Shukriya. Good afternoon to all of you, respected Dean of the School of Legal Study, Professor Sudarshan Verma, respected Head Department of Human Rights.
Dr. Nidhi,
No.
Dr. Nidhi.
Yes, ma'am.
Presently, I am the head and dean. Sudarshan Verma.
No, actually,
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. I'm said I respected Head Department of Human Rights, Professor Preeti Mishra, ma'am. My mentor and guide, respected Professor Preeti Saxena, ma'am. Respected Professor Shashi Kumar, respected Dr. Rashida, other respected professors from different departments, Dr. Nivedita, ma'am, dignitaries, my colleagues, my juniors, and everyone present out here in this second lecture of online DHR Alumni series. I would like to start my presentation by posing one question to everyone. Do we associate women empowerment with her freedom to make her own decisions? Or do we associate it with her freedom to travel independently without someone championing her? Or do we associate women empowerment with her capacity to look after family independently? This is a vexed question, which I shall leave open for the audience to answer themselves, particularly in the light of the fact that women are still objectified and used as chattel in the sex trafficking business. Women constitute more than 50% of the world's population, but India has shown skewed sex ratio in the infant age group owing to the reason of cultural preference of male child, leading to female feticide or female infanticide. The word has changed, leading to a change in the cultural mindset of people and society. The cultural acceptance for a female child is increasing, and a female child is looked upon in a similar fashion as a male child. However, while there is a definite improvement in the status of females in society, yet there are several lingering and persistent problems that militate against equality in status for a female, and human trafficking is one of those serious problems. When I came across by Professor Preeti Mishra, ma'am, at Department of Human Rights, that alumni presentations are going to start, I was having a mixed kind of feeling like, should I go for that? Because in your parent institution, all are from your, all your teachers are present, and to speak before them is an honor. But also the fact remains that no matter how hard you try, your heart does palpitates. But as a student or a scholar from the first batch, you have a responsibility to give a start to it and be part of this noble initiative. So I took this as a responsibility to come forward. But the next question was about what I should discuss. Then I decided that increased use of information and communication technology may be a concern today, as even pointed out by a respected Head Department of Human Rights. Since I am continuously working in this area, I know the threat information and communication technology poses to everyone, in particular to women. So I took the topic regulatory challenges at the interface of information technology and trafficking for sex and overview. See, this internet is a wonderful medium to connect with everyone. People use the internet or social networking sites for various reasons, such as accessing information, establishing communication, sending messages, commercial activities, making friends, searching for jobs, sharing knowledge, entertainment, and even we are using this platform for delivering a lecture from our place. So this is the actually power of internet. See, the advent of information and communication technology revolutionized the way people see things. During the lockdown period, it has emerged as the only medium of communication and imparting knowledge while maintaining social distancing and other requirements for managing daily life during this pandemic. We purchased things online, we started taking classes online, schools, colleges, universities, businesses, and government departments are running in online. Law department knows even the courts are working online. So this has increased not only the penetration of the internet, but also the capabilities of people to do things or activities online. Even small children are today savvy with the use of technology. Besides attending classes, the popular online activities among youth or children are online gaming, making groups, video conferencing, chatting, making videos, vlogging, blogging, or doing other lots of activities on social networking site. This opens the opportunity to commit crime directed against the youth or children, in particular women or small kids, as they are the most vulnerable due to several reasons, which this talk will cover. So this online presence converts them into a prey in the hands of traffickers and other cyber criminals sitting and watching them. There has been a paradigmatic shift on how we treat online crime subsequent to the spread of pandemic. A large number of new netizens are accessing the internet for the first time every day. And this includes people from all age groups, from all socioeconomic backgrounds, from all level of educational qualifications, from all levels of literacy. And as a result, it has made the internet a prime territory for cyber criminals, be them be hackers, phishers, or cyber traffickers. People are also spending a great amount of time on the internet, and this has resulted in targeting activities by cyber criminals. The data shows the increase in activities, and UN counter-terrorism chief, he on 6 August 2020 only stated that around a 350% increase in the phishing website was reported in the first quarter of the year in 2020. So now just imagine what is the position today.
Nidhi, just let me interrupt. Are you moving the slides or you are on the first slide only?
No, just on the first slide only. I'm just giving an introduction or just I'm just trying to, give an idea how I'm going to proceed. So basically, I mean, of course, this is the last line. Basically, this internet has increased, the increased rate of internet use, and it's actually, making it a territory, a prime territory for the criminals to commit crimes against the most vulnerable group of society, and that is children, youth, and women. So basically, for the understanding of the whole lecture, I divided this complete talk into 5 parts: what, why, how, and of course the international efforts and the Indian efforts legally. So, basically this whole talk is going to discuss mainly cyber sex trafficking under the head of human trafficking. Basically, human trafficking is one of the chief problem, not just in India, but of global community. I have just taken this picture and the statement given by ex-President Barack Obama for the purpose of making for justifying my observation of this concern of global community. Basically, data speaks that around the globe, about 80% of human trafficking is done for sexual exploitation. And what is human trafficking? So United Nations Convention Against Transnational Organized Crime defines trafficking in person. I'm not taking that technical definition. I'm trying to make it more simplified. Basically, human trafficking is a trade of humans for the purpose of forced labor, sexual slavery, or commercial sexual exploitation for the traffickers or others. So this may encompass providing a spouse in the context of forced marriage, or the section of organs or tissues, which includes surrogacy and ovum removal. Human trafficking can occur within a country or transnationally. It is a crime against person because of the violation of victims' right of movement through coercion or because of their commercial exploitation. Now let's try to find out what constitute online trafficking or online trafficking for sex or cyber sex trafficking. It is pertinent to mention that cyber sex trafficking is not defined under any law, neither at national level nor at international level. Nonetheless, there are instances of digital abuse, but calling them cyber trafficking or cyber sex trafficking will not be appropriate. Cyber sex trafficking occurs when anyone uses technology, tech gadgets, etc. very intelligently. And of course, here I would like to give my own definition to to make it more clear that what constitutes cyber sex trafficking or trafficking for sex online for me. Basically, cyber sex trafficking, the term is used by many of the, used in many reports. So I'm trying to define it as when trafficking is committed with the objective of commercial sexual exploitation of the victim with the help of a computer network or any electronic device, tech gadget. So cyber sex trafficking is brilliant use of electronic devices to commit the offense of cyber sex trafficking. I would like to point out, would like to more simplify it. जब किसी कंप्यूटर को टेक्निकल डिवाइस मोबाइल फोन हो सकता है या कोई भी ऐसी चीज जिसको कि आप इलेक्ट्रॉनिकली यूज कर सकते हैं, जब उसका यूज ब्रिलियंटली किया जाता है फॉर द पर्पस ऑफ अट्रैक्टिंग और यू कैन सी एंटाइसिंग द पीपल, लोगों को फंसाने के लिए, और उसका मेजर ऑब्जेक्टिव है कमर्शियली कमर्शियल सेक्सुअल एक्सप्लॉयटेशन, हम उसे साइबर सेक्स ट्रैफिकिंग कह सकते हैं. मींस trafficking with the help of online sex trafficking for sex with the help of the technical tech gadgets, computer, or any such devices. So I'm just taking this particular slide. My purpose is it's only a symbolic for the purpose of telling why sex trafficking or trafficking for sex is very, very important. This is a report, National Crime Records Bureau of Ministry of Home Affairs. They have presented a report in 2019, and this report was on missing women and children in India. So this report provides a comparative overview of 3 years of top 10 states in India, where the highest number of missing women have been reported. This report shows the Mumbai at the top. I have also used certain news very recently published about the position of women in society, basically the missing. Like Gujarat is in October 2021 saying that over 50% of children missing from Gujarat remain untraced. Or you can find the news of Himachal, which is saying 80% kids reported missing in 2021 traced. That means 20% are still missing. So this even the number of 9,453 children which are missing is telling these children and women are mostly on actually target. The next slide is just an explanation of this, which says among the same report I'm referring, and this is again telling the missing person data. The data of 3 years shows that the number of females gone missing is quite high in comparison of male, and this difference is continuously increasing. So I'm not saying that women are mostly on target, men are also there, but it appears that women are mostly actually victimized in the cases and that's why their number are actually quite high in comparison to male. So amongst all sort of trafficking, women's sex trafficking is more challenging across the boundaries, led by many complex social issues facing the global society. So trafficking is caused by a combination of several factors like poverty, government corruption, economic instability, lack of strict legal system, the easy money tendency, high financial gains in the trade. Basically, this slide is nothing new, and there is no new data I'm presenting here. This term trafficking for sex is very old, and long back identified these reasons, because in the business of trafficking for sex, getting money is very easy. So and it is more profitable, most profitable business amongst other businesses, and that's why the people are very much inclined in this particular crime. Now, just taking one more thing.
Dr. Nidhi, you may switch off your video because the voice is breaking too much. So we are not having
Okay,
a
ma'am.
very clear voice, yeah.
Okay, ma'am. I'm just doing it.
So that clarity may increase, yeah.
Okay, ma'am. So, is it possible to whether my slides are visible right now?
Yeah,
Again,
yeah.
is-
Yeah, slides are there.
Okay. And voice is now good. Means the quality is improved.
No. It is the same. It's not making any difference, I think. You may switch on your video if it's not making any difference.
Okay, let me type for some time. If it doesn't work, then we'll switch on.
Okay.
So basically, I have just this slide is taking a special. Is asking for a special attention with regard to this pandemic period, because pandemic has made us think that this business of trafficking for sex is going to be a more challenging job in the coming days. As the COVID-19 pandemic rages, the instances of cybercrime have also gone up, and the socio-economic impacts of the COVID-19 crisis have led to rapidly escalating rates of violence and exploitation for women and children throughout the Asia-Pacific region. There was a report published by Plan International Australia and Save the Children. The name of the report is Because We Matter. This report reveals that due to financial stress, I'm just identifying it as a one factor, widespread unemployment, another factor, and lockdown, there is a significant increase in gender-based violence, which includes forced marriage, sex trafficking, online abuse, and early pregnancy. Even Singapore, Malaysia, Bangladesh, too are experiencing similar issues. Data reveals that in the Philippines, around 280,000 children were victims of trafficking for sex or online. Between March and May, means nearly 4 times the rate of year 2019. And of course, there is another important factor, because school closure have also impacted a lot. Students who were not able to attend the college or schools, they were forced to be apart physically from their friends. And when they were apart from physically from friends, they started spending unprecedented amounts of time using the internet for schoolwork and to engage in social activity on social media. When using the internet unsupervised, children are susceptible to online perpetrators, cyberbullying, harmful content, and in particular cyber trafficking. So this was another factor that increased activity on social media, and together with socioeconomic impacts, they forced to lead this particular offense of cyber sex trafficking. So another important thing, basically, human trafficking for sexual exploitation is not a new phenomena, and the use of information communication technologies are taking volume to the crime. Now, the question is, to what extent information and communication technology are aggravating the problem of human trafficking? It's important to mention that the problem of human trafficking or trafficking for sex in India couldn't be quantified in an objectively statistical manner on account of less reporting, but anecdotal evidence suggests that the problem is quite widespread. The new technologies have major implications for sexualities and sexualized violence, and nevertheless, the proliferation of information and communication technology in India has brought with it tremendous positive changes in socioeconomic growth and development within the region. This electronic governance can be cited as an example, and or the communications that we could establish with the help of ICT can be another example to say information technology is really added volume in the quality of life. But paradoxically, information and communication technology is evolving to become a sophisticated tool in the hands of criminals for perpetrating different forms of cybercrime against women and unattended issues of sex trafficking, child pornography, organized crime, and solicitation for prostitution are some of the vices that have become recurring indices on the internet. So, of course, today everyone carries a smartphone to keep them connected with the rest of the world, including teenagers. Ma'am, is it okay? My voice is okay?
Yeah, it has improved. Yeah.
Okay. So I think I should keep my camera off.
Yeah. So long as you are presenting
Okay.
your PPT. Okay.
Sure. So basically, of course, we all are having our smartphones at least, and this is the situation. We cannot live without these technology or these gadgets or smartphones. So the frequent visit to social sites or wandering in cyberspace puts people in danger and prone to trafficking. Even if I want to check how many times I'm visiting on WhatsApp or Facebook, I'm really I will be shocked after getting the data that how many times I'm visiting on that. Okay, so and here when it comes to visiting online sites, the girls are most of the time on the target of traffickers, and their easy online availability makes them exposed to the danger of sex trafficking. The traffickers are watching every online activity, choices, liking, disliking, and preferences of netizens, which makes their task of catching their prey very easy and effortless in comparison to offline catching, because people are there, police departments are there, people who are actually sitting in the society are even taking care of the people. The system is still there in our society, but in case of online, no one is watching them. They are sitting in the comfort of their houses and doing or committing these crimes. So the technological tools like web analytics, I hope you must have heard, this again makes it easy to find the interest of the person on the basis of the sites they are visiting, especially the jobs they are searching. There are certain fixed methods or deception tactics that traffickers use for trafficking, like I have just taken explained, like the seduction and romance, or false job advertisement, lies about educational or travel opportunities, abduction, sale by family, recruitment through formal slaves. These are certain methods which are there, and they were popular even in online offline mode. Now they simply changed their format, and they are even popular in online activities also. So this slide is something about how ICT is used and in the business of trafficking for sex, basically, or we can say in online sex trafficking. So I would like to say basically the development and advancement of information and communication technologies have revolutionized the way people communicate and share their information. Not only people, the technology have enabled traffickers to more easily recruit, harm, and exploit victims, indulge into the illegal trade of people for commercial sexual exploitation without fear of being arrested and prosecuted. Just one example, like if I'm sharing today I visited this place, so that means I'm telling where I am, or if I'm sharing the location, sometimes visiting such and such place, I am just telling where I am actually, what is my location. Not just my close ones or relatives are knowing it, everyone who is actually watching me can know this thing. Okay, one more thing, if your location is on, okay, then even certain softwares which are installed without your knowledge on your mobiles or any other digital device can tell them the location. So getting information sometimes possible and sometimes not at all possible, and they are collecting with the help of certain software they are having. So another important issue is the dark web. So dark web evolves quickly and offers distinctive spaces and possibilities. Like getting the magnitude of the problem of human trafficking originating from the use of information and communication technology related infrastructure is, however, uncertain, but yes, it's frightening. The increased use of social media in schools and colleges provide the perfect opportunity for traffickers because they are populated with vulnerable victims. The schools and colleges are providing internet facilities to these students, and they restrict only downloading of movies or watching some adult content. These restrictions are not reducing the danger of trafficking. Traffickers can easily get them in much easier fashion through a simple text message, or it's in the virtual world. It is difficult to distinguish between a real person and fake one. I've just taken a one picture to show the person behind the mobile is really an old man, but it shows the picture of a child. It's just of course a bit I've just exaggerated, but this is the real situation. You cannot guess the age of the person with whom you are talking. So this is another important factor. And the strategy followed by cyber trafficker, sorry, this includes they are targeting innocent youth, children available online, and thereby getting them trapped into it. They don't have any fixed modus operandi and are successful if they can evade authorities. Social networks such as Facebook, Twitter, online classified, Instagram, tagged, WhatsApp, Snapchat, and even similar application on or social networking sites are used by them to target the prey online, which appears more dangerous than golden news groups used by the traditional traffickers before the advent of the internet. I hope you must have heard that initially advertisement in newspapers and were actually used for the purpose of getting the women or children for trafficking. Now internet is making everything easy. One site is deleted, another one will come. There is a the internet is flooded with these type of sites. The internet is a free space, uncontrolled in terms of activities, unrestricted in terms of users. Anyone can visit anywhere without any supervision. I can have 10 WhatsApp account. I can have 10 Facebook account. I can have 10 Instagram accounts. That is very easy for me. So why not the traffickers can use these strategies. So traffickers are quite easily or with less efforts getting their prey. The simple modus operandi used by the traffickers in many cases is that they watch every online activity, choices, requirements, liking, disliking, or preferences of netizens with the help of technological tools such as web analytics, as I highlighted before also. I would like to tell, this makes it easy to find the internet interest of the person based on the sites they are visiting, especially the job they are searching. I'm just giving you one example. An example can be if you are searching suppose a particular book, you wanted to know a book, you are searching a book on human rights of women or human rights of indigenous people. Okay, then you will get suggestions for the purchase of the books, or if you are searching a particular address, okay, you will start getting suggestions. How it is possible? How do you know that you visited only on Amazon or a particular site? This is possible because of these technological tools. Okay, when it is very easy, then how it is difficult to find the interest? If I'm searching a job of an engineer, they will know it. If I'm searching a job of a model, I will Google it, and they will know that this is my interest. They will start giving me opportunities. Okay, so the usual methods followed or deception tactics applied by the traffickers may include the use of romance, advertising, job opportunities that even doesn't exist, so showing fall, educational or travel opportunities. Sale by families is of course a reason. Now, if anybody is saying you will get this job in that foreign country, okay, this is very attractive thing. Okay, and then they are saying, I am providing you the tickets, flight tickets, everything. We will actually do all these arrangements. You just come with your details and visit the place. So very easy to catch the to catch them. So the way youth behave on the internet is also contributing, like the sites they are choosing and maintaining their profiles may attract traffickers. There was a research, of course, an old research, 10 years old, but it's still relevant, that I do have actually realized it. In this research, they highlighted or discloses the difference in choices of young teen and adult. Okay, they highlighted what this research is saying that 95% of TO mobiles and for YouTube or Instagram and Snapchat. Okay, even you find the difference in their profile. The adult people will have profile on Facebook, and the teens will go on Snapchat. So these types of differences are also highlighted. Then the traffickers will prefer the sites where they can find these teens. So in another research publication, it was mentioned almost 54% of teens have received unwanted text or spam, while 50% have received sexually suggestive text, which includes nude also. So this indicates that trapping is an incessant act, and traffickers are luring teens by sending these types of messages, texts, etc. Okay. Now, I'm just taking this slide to, I'm calling them ghost. What is the quality of ghost? दिखाई ही नहीं देता है. Okay, and can actually come appear from anywhere. कहीं से भी कैसे भी निकल के आ जाएगा. And their activity can be called a ghost activity because they are providing fake offers through fake job sites. They are having sites which is offering free sex services, or even if they are charging, it's really of course there are sites you can find, there are a list of sites where sex services are available. They are using fake identities. Sometimes it is easy to guess the that this is a fake profile and this identity is fake, but most of the time it is not easy. They are performing the job of entrepreneur. They are the global recruiter. So their ghost appearance comes in all these forms. Then this is all about the trafficking, sex trafficking. Okay, what is trafficking, how it happens, why it happens. Now the next part, the third part of my presentation, which is the international mandates. Specifically the treaties and convention. So I would like to say there is a huge list that can paint a picture of seriousness of this crime and concern of global governance. The first comprehensive and global legally binding instrument to fight transnational organized crime and is the offenses which the transnational in nature is United Nations Convention against Transnational Organized Crime, UNTOC, and its protocol to prevent, suppress, and punish trafficking in persons, especially women and children. So this instrument was ratified by the Government of India also, and it happened in the May 2011. The purpose of this convention is to promote cooperation, to prevent and combat transnational organized crime more effectively. The convention contains principle of extradition, mutual legal assistance, joint investigation, and special investigative technique. So these are the four important things about this convention, and it deliberates upon measures to enhance cooperation with law enforcement authorities, law enforcement cooperation, collection, exchange, and analysis of information on the nature of organized crime, and training and technical assistance. It is pertinent to mention that most of the crimes are actually, involves 2 or 3 geographical boundaries. Like I'm just giving you one example. नेपाल से किसी बच्ची को लिया जाता है, इंडिया में उसको रखा जाता है, एंड देन वो चाइना में सप्लाई हो जाती है या फिर और कंट्रीज में हो जाती है. तो यहाँ तीनों कंट्री का डिफरेंट स्टेटस है. इफ दे आर नॉट कोऑपरेटिंग, इफ देन इट विल बी डिफिकल्ट, एंड दैट्स व्हाई दिस convention is keeping this requirement of cooperation. This is designed while keeping in mind the requirement of cooperation, joint investigations, special investigative techniques, mutual legal assistance. Next, I'm just continuing with the previous slide. This is about the 2 important protocols. One is the protocol to prevent, suppress, and punish trafficking in person, especially women and children, supplementing the United Nations Convention against Transnational Organized Crime 2000. This protocol declares that effective action to prevent and combat trafficking in person, especially women and children, requires a comprehensive international approach in the countries of origin, transit, and destination. I use it. This example. I use this thing in the example. The countries of origin: Nepal, I highlighted; transit, India; and destination. Suppose that it was China. So that includes measure to prevent such trafficking, to punish the traffickers, and to protect the victims of such trafficking. The protocol renders the consent of victim of trafficking in person irrelevant, which was really very important. So most of the time the argument is this is consented work. It cannot be. Consent has no relevance for this protocol. Another protocol is United Nations Protocol against the smuggling of migrants by land, sea, and air. Supplementary. They included all the modes of movement: land, sea, and air. This protocol declares that effective action to prevent and combat the smuggling of migrants by land, sea, and air requires a comprehensive international approach. It includes cooperation, exchange of information, and other appropriate measures. These appropriate measures include socio-economic measures at national, regional, and international level. This protocol does not deal directly with the trafficking of a person for sexual exploitation or even prostitution. It makes evident via two articles are important to be mentioned here, Article 3 and Article 5 of this protocol. And it is saying that the smuggling of a person in forged document of travel for financial or material benefits are criminal offense under the instrument. So somehow this migration they are controlling, and most of the time when women or children are trafficked, they are actually carrying, they carry them with this forced document. So this protocol I have mentioned for the purpose of telling, not directly but indirectly, they are trying to look into the issues of associated issue of trafficking for sex. Then is the Slavery Convention of 1926, and it was signed at Geneva. The reason of this Slavery Convention was the complete suppression of slavery in all forms and of slave trade by land and sea. So asking trafficking and then using them for the business of prostitution is a slavery, and this convention somewhere again not directly but indirectly associated with this particular offense. Then the Supplementary Convention on Abolition of Slavery, the slave trade, and institutions and practices similar to slavery. This particular Supplementary Convention mandates these state parties to adopt necessary legislative and other measures at the earliest to compete for the abolishment of slavery as contained in Article 1 of this previous Slavery Convention of 1926. This convention also somewhere emphasizes to abolish any institution or practice where a woman is forcefully, without having any right to refuse, given in a marriage on payment of a consideration of money or the kind to her parents, guardian, family. So where the woman is transferred to another person for a value received by her husband, parents, or family, or after the death of the husband, the woman is animus possidendi of another, is totally prohibited by this particular convention, Supplementary Convention. Again, as I said, trafficking for sex, the reason is of trafficking and also forced marriage. So that particular thing is is controlled by this particular by this instrument. Next is the United. I've just taken certain more initiatives to tell that how many international efforts are there and what is the resultant. Okay, so United Nations Global Initiative to Fight Human Trafficking. This UN gift. This was launched in 2007 and is managed by United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime. in cooperation with International Labour Organization, ILO, the International Organization for Migration, IOM, the Office of High Commissioner for Human Rights, OHCHR, the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, and the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF. So this altogether is aiming to eradicate human trafficking through mobilizing state and non-state actors to reduce vulnerability and demand for exploitation of potential victims and to ensure support and protection to the victims. So this was a huge objective, and that's why the United Nations came with this particular initiative. Then comes the United Nations Convention for the Separation of the Trafficking Person and Exploitation of the Prostitution. This document is focused on abolishing prostitution, and document states in its preamble, prostitution and the accompanying evil of the trafficking person for the purpose of prostitution are incompatible with the dignity and worth of human person and endanger the welfare of the individual, the family, and the community. The anti-trafficking law of India is enacted in pursuance of this convention only. Then comes the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women of 1979, which is again known to everyone, CEDAW. This was enacted basically to force, this came into force with an objective to provide a platform, safe platform for women, and of course with an objective of full and complete development of country. And that is possible means only when the women is provided an opportunity to participate equally as men. Okay, so this gives positive affirmation to the principle of equality by requiring state parties to take all appropriate measures, which include enacting laws or administrative actions for guaranteeing women the right to enjoyment of human rights and fundamental freedoms on a basis of equality. And even a number of times this particular document, instrument, convention is actually quoted to say that this document says that women needs to be protected, and the platform, for every platform that is required, that is provided to women, must be safe for making her to participate. Then comes the Internet Watch Foundation, IWF, of 1996. This was introduced with an objective of minimizing child sexual abuse and to restrict these types of contents spreading anywhere. And this Internet Watch Foundation also provides, operates an online hotline, and this hotline is basically enabled to take care of potentially illegal sites or to report if any concern appears there. Then the Virtual Global Task Force, VGT, of 2003. This is a group of law enforcement agencies around the world. And this particular group operates together to stop child pornography online. The objective of VGT is to make internet a safer place and to provide safeguards to the children, and of course, ultimately to ensure justice to them. The optional protocol on child CRC, Child Convention on Child Right, and this particular convention is aimed. It's an international instrument and aimed to protect the child rights from all, protect the child from all forms of abuse, violence, neglect, and exploitation, and entrust the responsibility on the state parties to protect children from all forms of sexual exploitation. This optional protocol emphatically states that there is a requirement to criminalize the sale of a child. Okay, so a child can be, of course, a girl child. And that's why this protocol is again important. Is of course also constitute a part of the main document or international instrument that with regard to handle the issues of trafficking for sex. And the last international instrument I have just taken it separately, because when it comes to cyber crime or cyber law or or international instrument handling issues of cyber crime, we don't have any international instrument except this the Council of European Convention on Cybercrime 2001. We call it Budapest Treaty, and this was, of course, opened in Budapest on 23rd November 2001, and that's why we are calling it Budapest Treaty. And this is the only convention on cybercrime today. This particular convention aims to harmonize the domestic criminal substantive laws, okay, and the similar kind of offenses, then provides for domestic criminal procedural law and setting up a fast, effective regime of international cooperation. So these three were the major highlight of this particular convention. This convention, under its various provisions, criminalizes various aspects of electronic production, possession, distribution of child pornography material through computer data storage system or any means of an electronic device. So of course, this convention is really very important, but it's of course of 2001. It's a consideration or revision, and moreover, a similar kind of document we need at national, international level for which can actually look after the issues of internet crime or cyber crime. Then comes the Indian regulatory architecture. Can I continue, ma'am? Hello.
You are on which slide,
Yes,
Nidhi?
ma'am. Yes, actually, I'm just asking, should I continue?
Yeah, you continue.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, so the last part of the discussion is the Indian regulatory architecture. This Indian regulatory architecture for the control of human trafficking has evolved over the years. And this consists of many laws and regulation shaped in the light of the commitments that our country have undertaken under the international treaties, various conventions, of course, where India was a part. So I will start with the basic land law of the country, that is the Constitution of India. The Constitution of India in part 3rd provides right to life in personal liberty, right to live with dignity, right to certain freedoms, and most importantly, right against exploitation and prohibition against trafficking in human beings and forced labor such as begar. Article 23 of Indian Constitution prohibits trafficking in human beings and forced labor and makes contravention of the provision a punishable offense, whereas Article 24 prohibits employment of children in factories, etc. So trafficking in person is a grave crime, no denial of it, and it is a crime against humanity, which amounts to violation of human rights. And there are various forms of trafficking, like abuse of inherent vulnerability, which is actually totally based on the abuse of inherent vulnerability of the victims, and that's why the Constitution has in itself considered it in its very important provision, or its important part, that is part 3rd of the Constitution. So let's jump on the Indian laws. The first law is the Immoral Traffic Prevention Act of 1956. Basically, under the authority and via force of the provisions which were enshrined in Constitution under Article 23, the legislature passed the Immoral Traffic Prevention Act of 1956, which was the first legislation for prevention of trafficking for commercial sexual exploitation. The law was amended several times to bring the statute in the line with the requirement of various conventions signed by the country. Okay, and without going into the discussion about the provisions, I would like to come on the bill. This is the Trafficking of Person Prevention, Protection and Rehabilitation Bill of 2018, which was introduced in the Lok Sabha in 2018 and passed on July 16 in Lok Sabha only. The bill has certain important factors like it includes law. It actually contains the provision of investigation of all types of trafficking. Actually, I have done a project on this sex trafficking for sex, and I have taken interviews of public prosecutors and police stations which are directly dealing with these type of offences. I came to know that investigation is a major issue. They highlighted that it is really difficult when the technology is involved. And they themselves actually accepted that now the crime is committed with the help of technology. And when they are asking information about a particular number, will get the information, the number is switched off. So investigation is a very it's really a challenge for them. So this bill which I'm just mentioning here, it highlights the highlights of this bill includes that they provide a mechanism for investigation of all types of trafficking and protection and rehabilitation, provisions of protection and rehabilitation. This bill provides provision the anti-trafficking unit, and which will be used for the purpose of rescuing a victim and investigating cases of trafficking and rehabilitation committees and all. Even this bill classifies certain offenses or certain purposes of trafficking as aggravated forms of trafficking, like the forced labor, bearing children, or begging, or these type of things were never there in any of the laws we are having, but now they included, because if trafficking is associated with a particular objective, this will be treated as an aggravated form of offense, and that's why the penalties will be quite high for these offenses. So the bill appears with the is actually there with high penalty. Okay, then comes the Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2000. I've just taken Indian laws that somewhere not directly, directly or indirectly associated with the offense of trafficking. So, or is actually there to handle the issues of trafficking. So, this Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2006. Basically, women are also trafficked with the concealed motive in the nature of name of marriage. So this particular act defines a child and as a person who, if a male, has not completed the age of 21 years. We are aware the same is the case with the women, the age is 18 years. So if either of the contracting party to the marriage is a child, such marriage falls under the definition of child marriage. And this is basically there to handle the issues of trafficking with the objective of trafficking within the name of marriage. Then comes the Juvenile Justice Care and Protection Act of 2000. Several provisions of the Constitution in Part Constitution of India in Part 3rd and Part 4, which includes Clause 3 of Article 15, Clause E and F of Article 39, Article 45, 47. Is all imposing on a state a primary responsibility to ensure the needs of children are met and their basic human rights are protected. So this act was based on the standard prescribed by the Convention on Child Rights, that is CRC, the United Nations Minimum Rules for the Administration of Juvenile Justice of 1985. And even this act is now, so sorry, I've just not included, it's amended in 2015. The new act is there, which also repealed the previous one. So the purpose of incorporating this is to check how the Juvenile Justice Act is protecting the interest of child in administering justice and to handle the issues of corruption. Because as I said, corruption is another issue to lead the offense of commission of the offense of trafficking for sex. Then comes protection of children from sexual offenses, this POXO. And POXO is important to be mentioned because this addresses the issues of sexual offenses against children, like in accordance to Clause 3 of Article 15 of Constitution of India, which empowers the state to make a special provision in respect of children. And of course, in addition to this provision of Constitution, there is Convention on Child Rights, which was adopted by General Assembly and which prescribes a set of standards to be followed. These things somewhere led to the enactment of POSCO in India. And Act is important because Act punishes for certain heinous crime which were never mentioned in any of the law, like sexual assault, sexual harassment, pornography, and even aggravated penetrative sexual assault, etc. So this act somewhere looks or takes care of the issues related to the offenses, sexual offenses of against the children, committed against the children. Then the major act is the Indian Penal Code, and Indian Penal Code 1860, under its various provisions cover different activities relating to women trafficking of women for sex, like kidnapping from India, which is punishable under 363, or even procuration of a minor girl, which is also punishable. And there are several provisions. Again, I'm not going to take into detailed discussion. I'm jumping on the last Act of Information Technology Act 2000, which was amended in 2008 only, is very, very important because if IPC is there, if Immoral Traffic Act is there, they are not having any provision which says if trafficking is committed with the help of tech gadgets, because as I said, it is equipping the offender to commit the crime without making known to the authorities. So we need some law that actually take care of these use of technology. So IT Act Information Technology 2000 is there. It is based on the United Nations Model Law on Electronic Commerce of 1996. I mean, the amendment of 2008 was based on another United Nations Model on Electronic Signature. So this IT Act is the only law in India which governs the electronic communication and offences committed by means of electronic devices. Like the Act makes violation of privacy punishable under Section 66E. This 66E says that if anyone intentionally or knowingly captures, publishes, or transmits the image of a private area of any person without his or her consent, under circumstances violating the privacy of that person, he shall be punished. The Act also gives power to the central government or state government to issue directions for interception or monitoring or decryption of any information through any computer resource. So this can also help to handle the issues if I'm just saying very less percentage is there, but yes, to some extent this can handle the issues by when when someone is asked to take care of these things, because the power can be exercised in the interest of the sovereignty, integrity, defense of India, security of a state, friendly relation with foreign state, etc. And here one more important provision is 69A, and under 69A, the central government or any other officer is specially authorized by the central government has power to issue direction for blocking the access of certain sites. Okay, then if it comes in the knowledge of the government that certain sites are used for the purpose of providing fake job opportunities or for the purpose of luring the victims or the women, then they immediately can take action and can exercise their power under Section 69A. 69B is also there, which authorizes the central government to enhance cyber security and for identification, analysis, and prevention of intrusion or spread of computer contaminants. So this can somehow also actually, sometimes for some time they are putting something into they are hiding something by doing some hacking or some activity. So this can also be handled by the government by virtue of the power provided here. Then Section 75, because when it comes to trafficking for sex or specifically cyber sex trafficking, it involves definitely the geographical boundaries. It actually knows no boundaries. No geographical boundary is known to anyone. If I'm speaking here from Sikkim, and it's not just confined to be heard by people who are sitting in Lucknow, anyone anywhere can actually hear me. So is the case with the crime. The crime can be committed easily without knowing anyone, and it can be done by crossing the geographical boundary. So we need a law that actually handles the cross-border or issues. This section 75 of IT Act is important to be mentioned here in this slide, because this act, IT Act, provides under section 75 extraterritorial operation of law. Then because most of the time intermediary is considered to be very important factor in providing certain services, and intermediary under the Information Technology Act is exempted from liability in certain cases. Like, he is not liable for any third party information, he is not liable for any data or communication link made available or hosted by him. Suppose intermediary is the Airtel or even your institution, as I said, in school and colleges, they are providing internet facility to students and restricting merely certain certain thing like downloading of movies, okay, and certain adult sites. But these job offers are not restricted. When these job offers are fake, they are definitely going to lead to commission of certain offenses. In that case, in that particular situation, it is really difficult to make even the intermediary liable, and this law also exempt him from any such liability. With this, I would like to provide a concluding remark, like human trafficking is both an issue of human right as well as a matter of criminal justice system. A trade of women or children like an object of sex is not acceptable. Not even any single country is ready to tolerate this grave and serious violence against women. And even Supreme Court has intervened, requiring the government to block pornographic website, which says a lot about the impact of the internet on our daily lives. But yes, the initiative of the government could not work, and they were required to take back their decision, because people argued that this is our personal matter, what we are watching. The government has no business to interfere into it. So this happened, and another important point is that this issue of sex trafficking for sex online, caused by online, this means cannot be resolved by simply adding a section under the existing laws, by adding any single element in existing provision, like happened in the case of IPC. There sometimes some amendments were made, and they incorporated the term electronic communication or like that. So the problem has multi phases, and its every phase should be taken care properly. The major controlling factor is creating the liability, and I would like to refer here the recent, it's not exactly recent, but it's a few years back only. US enacted a law that requires the intermediary to take down a content providing website, even if the intermediary is merely providing a channel for hosting the website. So there is a requirement to have similar kind of provision in our law, similar kind of arrangement in our system. Hello? I hope I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you are audible.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now I think it's open for discussion. I have concluded.
Yeah, if anybody has any question, may I put it in the chat box so that I may pose it for Dr. Nidhi. Or if anyone want to ask, please switch on your video and then ask the question. Any question from anybody? I think they are not having any. Yeah. Your good name, please. Yeah, your good name, please. You have joined from India. You are Chopal News Network. You are mute, sir.
No question. No question, ma'am.
Okay, sorry.
My name is Shonu Kumar Mishra, ma'am.
Okay, it's all right. Anybody else? So I don't think the people have question here. So it was such a burning topic.
Any question, even not directly,
हिंदी में
not
भी पूछ सकते
directly
हैं.
on the topic.
हाँ,
जी,
हिंदी में भी पूछ सकते हैं. लैंग्वेज का कोई
इससे
बात.
IT से related. जी.
Okay, then let me thank Dr. Nidhi on behalf of the university. I am thankful to my Honorable Vice Chancellor who has given permission to organize this particular alumni lecture series. I am very much thankful to him for all time support, cooperation, and motivation. I thank my Dean Academic Affairs. I thank my mentor, Professor Preeti Saxena Madam also. She is not here because of some other exigencies. She is having some other assignments, so she is not able to join. I convey my regard to her. I thank all the faculty members and all the participants who have joined this particular program. And now I thank formally Dr. Nidhi Saxena for giving her time from her busy schedule and coming here and sharing her views on the topic. Thank you so much, Nidhi, for joining. And see you again on any other topic also. Thank you so much. I thank you, Dr. Nivedita from Mass Communication, for covering this lecture series. I hope that she will prepare a report and give it wide publicity. Thank you, Nivedita, for joining. I thank all the listeners to this particular alumni lecture series. I thank you all. Thank you so much on behalf of the university, on behalf of the Department of Human Rights, as well as from our alumni association also. Thank you all. Thank you so much. See you on most probably on 5th of March on some other burning topic. See you all. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Rashid.
Thank you, ma'am.
Rashida is not seen. Actually, her Buaji had expired 2-3 days before. So
I actually saw her message.
yeah.
So
She is there, but okay. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Now you may close, Nidhi. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.